Is there a way I can make myself physically attracted to someone? Some people are just better off as friends, mate. Can't force love. In a way, yes. I was always taught that you don't look for a wife who matches your ideal view of beauty, but you make your ideal view of beauty match your wife. Physical appearance is guaranteed to change with time. So if you look for a wife who matches your view of beautiful, you will eventually stop being attracted to them. If you make your view of beauty match your wife, you will always be married to the most beautiful woman in the world. This is a really tough decision. I actually had to make the same decision myself with my current boyfriend. I decided that the 95% was good enough for me because there's no guarantee that if I leave him I will find that fiery passion. For me, it's quite rare to have that kind of passion with someone, and I can probably just live without it. I think Hollywood has made it seem like every relationship should be full of lust, but I don't think reality is like that. I think far more people than would actually admit it have just made a pragmatic decision about who to spend their life with. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work like this. The reason you need to find someone you adore is because they're going to be gross at some point. And you need to be able to handle it without waver. Within limits, of course. We're all going to be gross at some point. Bad breath, bouts of mildly bad hygiene during large life changes like a newborn or caring for a dying parent, or depressive episodes, etc. Weight gain, farting, personal gross things like nose picking or nail biting. And in that case, you'll pass over anyone you don't adore, and maybe even those you do, in the seasons of a marriage. That's an ebb and not a flow. I'm a firm believer when it's the right person, those basic things are tolerable, and while I may not want to be intimate during those times, I still kind my husband to be the sexiest man alive, and it doesn't kill my sex drive for him. If basic things are off-putting, even if you get over it now, it will be back. And starting a relationship in that foundation isn't fair to either of you. In fact, it would break her heart to sink in years and then realize you can't handle her at her worst. If I were you, I'd get therapy just to check in with myself. I think you're fine, but just to be sure, any deep hang-ups you have can't be solved with some internal work. And I think everyone ready for long-term partnership should do therapy first. And I'd only get further involved with someone who ticks all of my deal breaker or ick factor boxes. Red heart. Not really, but I've found myself a couple of times in a situation where I didn't feel physically attracted to someone, so much that I truly thought I would never move forward with it. Long story short, after spending time with them, I started to see them attractive, because the outside look is definitely not the most important thing. As for the bad breath, I am sure a lot of us have been there. Maybe she ate something that day that did it. IDK, haha. I would get to know them more and see where it goes. If after a bit your feelings don't change, then you need to move on. Sorry if my English is not very good. I've had some really toxic relationships in the past. Ask yourself, are you not attracted to her, or are you just missing the emotional rush that comes with toxic situations? Are you actually, objectively, physical unattracted to her, or does it just not feel the same as the girl who came in and turned your life upside down? No, but no rhythm and bad breath are both things that can be helped. Also, literally nobody can give you 100% of what you want. 1. Communicate your sexual desires, turn-ons, etc. What is possible to make her more attractive to you, and you to her. 2. Other than just being physically attracted to her, you should notice the small sweet stuff that she does. I know this cause my boyfriend does small sweet gestures time to time, and I just fall more in love with him. With physical attraction in place too. 3. No matter what, if she's the one you really want, love will find a way. Therefore, work on yourself, on your relationship. Remember, it's you guys against the problem. TDLR. Most importantly, just communicate and notice the small stuffs. Eventually this issue is going to come out. In my mind it would play a little something like this. Her. Why don't you want to have sex with me? You. I'm just not drawn to you in a way that's sexually passionate. Her. Well, what changed from now and when we started dating? You. I didn't find you attractive then either. Her. Why would you get into a romantic relationship with someone that you don't want to have sex with? And the only answer to that question is, you shouldn't. I found myself in the exact same situation a few years back and I had to make the decision to end things because I was horny as hell and none of that energy was directed at her. She deserves someone that actually wants her and I deserve someone that I actually want. Still single AF though for what it's worth. Short answer is, no, unfortunately you can't. Shame, cause it seems like the other boxes are ticked. Give it time and see if you like her better. But don't force it. Sometimes things get better over time. But you can't get blood from a stone either. Maybe talk to her about the kissing stuff if you feel comfortable. Communication can help people out a lot if they are only slightly incompatible. Give it a bit of time. It's just one makeout session. It may take time for it to click. If it's just the kisses, that can be fixed with practice just like everything else. It could also be that you're the one who's terrible at them. If you simply don't like her physically, there's not much to do. You just met this woman, kissed once, aren't attracted to her, and you think marrying her would be a good decision? What are you smoking, dude? Shoot Tren. Every woman you look at will be a dime, lol. Attraction can grow. Just keep spending time with her and getting to know her better. Just go at your own pace. See her as a friend. And then let the attraction grow from there. Rather than seeing her as a mate and trying to force the attraction when it hasn't quite gotten there for you yet. I just got out of a relationship that checked all the boxes minus the passion, chemistry. I gave it a few months but the passion never came. What is it with ticking boxes? It's not an Excel spreadsheet. You either feel it or not. If you make a list of requirements that a potential candidate has to meet, then you are doing it wrong. Sure, you probably should have similar viewpoints, especially on things that are very important to you. But making a perfect match is not it. I knew some women that I felt would be perfect for me. Unfortunately, they were married and I'm not into splitting relations. Even though one was quite religious. And that is not me. And one was a bit older than me, and you could say she did have slight bad breath. Not on a regular basis. But when we were in close proximity, I even made a point of that. Well, I can smell her breath. But this does not bother me. So, your message is contradicting. On one hand, you say that you feel like marrying her and that you love spending time with her, but on the other hand you are turned off and you do not feel like kissing her. Looks to me like you are waiting for some perfect combination, which won't happen, or at least is very unlikely. If you really do care about this girl, you should work on yourself. Perhaps therapy is a good option here. You can try to focus only on the positive things and transient things like smiles, other face expressions, and who knows, something might click. Absolutely. Especially with the things you just listed. If it was flat-out differences in physical, type 1 would steer you away, but in this case it sounds like you should very casually pursue a few dates, see where things go. This whole talk of marriage so suddenly and past toxic relationships sounds like you may have stuff to work through. Just a heads up. If it works out, awesome. If not, plenty of women out there
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.